I am going to be doing some demonstrations in a few minutes in complete blackness. I could have sworn I unplugged the lights there.
After saving with customized car insurance from Liberty Mutual, I customized everything. Like Marco's backpack.
So I had to go around and figure out all the LED lights we had in the environment to disconnect them because I want the room to be dark. Well, not the staircase. I got to get them down my staircase. I'm not trying to murder myself doing that. But I had to take out the majority of most of the lights we have in here because I need for the room to be dark for this demonstration. We don't have lights on and lights out, but I still, with the lights out, we want to have as less LED lights we have down here as possible. So we're doing a demonstration, as I said before. First things first, if I haven't mentioned, my name is Kenneth Burr. My company is Crystal Wave Technology. We developed dark technology as we specialize in ambient light rejection technology at the end of the day, and screens that have produced 100% contrast levels. I can't express this enough when I talk about how gray screens do not produce contrast levels. I'm sorry, but they don't produce them. They produce almost the same equivalence to a white screen. So we have up here white screen sample. We have over here the Network Gray 773, which does react like a great deal of other screen paints we see. Actually, one screen, we can see one screen paint, it reacted perfectly to it, did the exact same thing. So that represents both at the same time. All right, so first things first, let's have our lights on. As you can see, we're in a fully lit environment. Plenty of light, no dark areas. This is what we don't like to do, dark environments. The reason why you see a lot of these gray screen paint products in these dark environments is my camera lens. I'm looking at something weird on my camera lens. Let me see what's going on here. That's better. Something was on my camera lens. But anyway, as I said before, when I watch a lot of these demonstrations with these gray and white screens, you will see them in these really dark environments. And this is something you don't want to be sitting in, a dark environment, especially if you spent a lot of money for a projector. You don't want to be sitting in a dark environment. So I do like to show my environment so you can see that the environment is nice and bright. We canceled out the majority of the neon lights because we're going to do some lights out. This area gets really dark at night. Really, really dark. So that's why I had to be up early for this. To show you that even in a dark environment, gray screens, white screens do not work. Our technology is the best. It's a screen that can employ 100% contrast level. It is true ambient light projection technology, and that's what it's designed to do. Unlike the gray screen paint products you see out there in the market, as I said before, don't do contrast levels, they do shades of gray. All right, so let's begin with the color. Let me see, let's go over with red screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
Fully lit environment, as you can see already, that a red screen, the red color of red, which is, you're going to need this. This is going to be throughout all your videos, reds, blues, and greens, and so forth, do not pick up. This is why black screens do not require our black screens. I don't know about other people because I've seen some other black screens out there, but our black screens do not require calibrating. Mind you, we're using a 4,000 lumen 720p projector, and I told you before that gray screens, white screens do not pick up on these screens due to the fact that you already have enough light in the environment that the screen can handle, and then you're going to introduce it to a 4,000 lumen projector, which is going to have a very difficult time picking up on the screen. That's why when you watch demonstrations with gray and white screens, you will never see them in an environment such like so, because the screen can't pick up. That's why. Blue screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
Every single time. Green screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
There you go. Let's go back to slow color changer.
Getting that from YouTube.
Now to drop my lights, this room is going to be complete dark. The only lights you're going to see on this side allows me to get down my stairs without murdering myself. But all the neon lights have been canceled in the environment. In a dark environment, you'll see the screens are not even going to pick up.
Sign up as an Expedia member and see more of the world's lemons.
All right, let's get to it because I'm not doing any trailers on here. Now, as you can see, in a dark environment, we have our neon lights canceled out. We're just using our black technology, the new 39 Extreme Black Widow. And then up here we have the white gray screen and the white screen. Now you can see color is not picking up. Now I guarantee you, when these gray screens and white screens try to back up their products at the end of the day, again, like I said, dark environments, they can't see contrast levels, dark environments, calibrated projectors, overpriced projectors. We suggested a 1-year swap out. The 1-year swap out challenge was they had to remove these high-end projectors out of the demonstrations and stick to a 720p for 1 year, which again, like I said, they're not going to do it to begin with because the screen can't pick up. But this shows you why the 39 Black Widow is much more superior than gray screen paint products and white screens. Blue screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
Gray screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
Now I like doing this demonstration because our screen is physically black, where these screens are gray. You would think they would pull up a better gray level, but it doesn't work that well for them. This is the dark gray we're going to pull up first. As you see, the screen is not even registered. The gray screen and white screen won't register. We'll put up a gray screen, light gray. And as you see, when you put up light gray, they come off looking white. All right, let's show off contrast. Starfield screensaver.
Getting that from YouTube.
I particularly like doing this demonstration because it has a lot of heavy contrast levels in it. And as you can see, our screen is pulling the 100% contrast level. This is why gray screens have to stay in the dark when it comes to contrast and color. If I put on the lights, those screens are going to wash out. Our screen's still going to maintain a contrast level. That shows you right there that the gray screen and white screen are not ambient light rejection. They're not. If they were, they would be able to maintain in this environment. They can't produce contrast. Don't have the capabilities to do it. And if you go out and spend the money for a very expensive projector that may have 2 million, 3 million, doesn't make a difference. You cannot pick up a 100% black level. Not going to register, not going to pick up. Let's go with contrast test demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
Now we're going to do the Sony 4K contrast demonstration that shows the black background with the city, red lights, and so forth. And you'll see where the gray and white screen does not register or pick up. In order for them to be able to pick up a somewhat decent shade of gray or dark gray, they would have to be in the dark. Keep in mind, these are challenges that we have put out for gray screens that have made these outlandish claims that they can pick up a contrast level, but again, they've never been matched. Okay. Let's go pop over to, I like to do the LG Jazz demonstration. Every time the screens come up in a discoloration, you will see a discoloration to the screen of washed out reds and blues and reds and different colors that wash out completely. This shows you, I love to do in the LG because the LG will show you exactly how many times the screen washes out. This is why the 39 Extreme Black Widow is a superior screen paint over a gray or white screen. Usually most people in their homes will have a white screen. Majority of most people have white screens. And then they'll convert over to a gray screen because they think a gray screen is going to fix the problem. And I'm here to tell you it's not. Now, anyone who has a gray screen paint product or white screen, if you feel we're wrong in this demonstration, feel free to do the same thing I'm doing right now. Same amount of lighting. Mind you, run a 4,000 lumen projector. Some people feel that the higher the lumens they go on the projector, the better chance they have seeing the image. I'm here to tell you it's not going to happen. What's going to happen is you're going to whitewash your screen. You're already having a problem picking up with all this light in the environment, and then you're going to hit it with a higher lumen projector. Ultra short throws come up horrible on gray and white screens. They don't pick up. We've done this demonstration also, which we'll be doing today, again, in a fully lit environment. Now again, there's a white sheet of paper, a white screen, there's the gray screen paint. Every time that screen turns gray or white, that means it can't see color or contrast. This is what you got to be careful about. Fake demonstrations. This is why we advise a 1-year swap out to strip away the ambient light controlled environments. Environments have to be bright just like this. Contrast levels must be displayed, color levels must be displayed, and they can't use a high-end projector. They have to strip it down to 720p only with a 2,000 to 1 or 1,000 to 1 contrast ratio. They can't do that. They need that projector to make the screen look somewhat acceptable, and they need that dark environment to pick up the color a little better. In the 1-year swap out, that's all stripped away. That will be reinstated today because it needs to be done. You need to see exactly what you're buying. Let's go over to the OLED horse. Now, I've always mentioned this. This is for people that are buying screens for the first time. When you see a contrast level, request that it's done in a fully lit environment. If that screen displays with that discoloration to it, that's the first sign to tell you that it can't see contrast and it will not accept color. So we're going to be doing tutorial videos showing people what to look for when it comes to screen paint and certified screens, what you need to see, how you need to look at the backgrounds, how you need to watch for any shadows, dark corners, half-shut blinds, all kinds of stuff. We'll show you what to look for when you're buying a screen paint. And I tell people, before you buy from us, compare our demonstrations to everybody else. Let's go with the Skyworth food demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
I like this demonstration because in this demonstration, Skyworth food demonstration, because it shows off our screen's amazing white levels, but you will see the white levels on the gray screen and the white screen pick up a little bit higher, but that's a bad sign because when we start getting to colors in the demonstration, you will see these screens wash out. White levels are way too high. Now you see they can't pull the basic intro. And there we go, already. White levels are way too high. Back there a minute. This is what I explained to you. White levels are too high. As you can see, the tomato that you're watching here in the demonstration is picking up a nice, beautiful red, where the gray screen and white screen can't see it and can't pick it up because their white levels are way too high. You have to have a balance. That's the problem with white screens. White screens pick up a tremendously high white level, and the balance throws everything off. Well, that white level throws the balance off. Sorry about that. Switch over to, I think it's this one right here. Is it this one or this one right here? So we can get an understanding because some people really at the end of the day do not know what ambient light rejection technology is actually designed to do. Just because your screen can be in an environment and you can see and you got to be careful about this. In some of these demonstrations with these gray and white screens, the image will be completely washed out. You'll see where bars don't pick up correctly. They're not coming up black, they're coming up tan, washed out gray images. But because they feel they can see an image, it's considered to be acceptable. It's not acceptable. That screen is supposed to pick up from corner to edge without no fading, no washing, no deterioration. It has to look perfect, as if you're looking at it with the lights off. That's how it should look. So if the only way that screen can change is because it has to be in the dark, first sign that tells you screen's not ambient light rejection, number one. Number two, it doesn't have the ability, to pick up that color and contrast, which is required. An ambient light rejection screen, a true ambient light rejection screen, can sit in the middle of a well-lit environment and still maintain the color without washing out or fading with a perfect image from corner to corner as it should be, which you'll see here that these screens are not ambient light rejection, and nor do they have the capability to pull the contrast needed to either pull those beautiful colors and to pull that beautiful contrast level. Now, keep in mind, these are people that at the end of the day are going to try to do their best to prove their product can work. I'm not one with the back and forth. This is how we'll do it. The challenge we're going to be posting today will be the max out zone only. Keep in mind, when we first started this challenge, you had a bit of a break. Upstairs, a lot less light than down here. So we have individuals who feel they still want to fight this claim that a gray screen is still a next-gen product. It's not. It's old. It's been done. So what we're going to do today, we're going to propose a challenge for 1 year. Matter of fact, we can make it 2 years. We have no problem with 2 years. I can make it 3. I really don't have a problem with that. The challenge is, we don't care what caliber projector you can use. It could be 4,000, 5,000, because we automatically know a gray screen will never survive on a 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 projector. Again, the more light introduced to the screen, the faster it's going to wash out. So they can't go to past a certain mark because the screen won't work. So we are going to have a challenge, another one. And I guarantee you, all this talk, I hear a lot of talk, a lot of talk, a lot of talk. The challenge we're giving you is what we do every day. It's what I'm doing in my demonstration right now. This is a challenge for them, not for us. This is what we do all day. So your challenge would be, we don't care what caliber of lumen projector you're using in your demonstration, you're going to have to display on the screen size we're using at 129 inches. That's the size of my screen here. So we're suggesting you're going to have to swap out your screen. If people want to call themselves being equal to us, then you need to do the same demonstration as us. No dark environments. Your meters must stay in the center of the floor and they must max out, which means you literally are going to have enough light in the environment to get the meter to max out. Keep in mind, when we do these meter demonstrations, meters cannot be near doors, they can't be near windows, they can't be near projectors. They lay flat on the floor in the center of the screen, which means you're going to have to generate enough light in the environment to cancel that machine out. The demonstration challenge will be for 2 years now. Yeah, it gets kind of rough. We can need to do it easy. We have no problem. You're not even going to last. We know from the door that they don't have a lot of faith in their product. They're not even going to make it a day. But we'll put 2 years in. 2 years, no problem. 2-year challenge. Keep in mind that when you do demonstrations, you're going to have to do them the exact same way we do them. So we show white levels, we show contrast levels, a lot of contrast levels, and you're going to have to show color. And you're going to be doing this against certified screens. So let's see if people can back it up at the end of the day, or just get angry, send emails, rant and carry on like they usually do. That's why we showed you in the video of how frustrated and how angry they get when we give out these challenges. We gave out a challenge for a black and white screen paint challenge. It's his demonstration. That's all he had to do was do the demonstration. How did he react? Over 60 phone calls in a live stream, ranting. Going to the forum site, ranting. Or sorry, our website email, ranting. Probably did a couple ranting YouTube videos. We didn't check. We didn't bother. We're busy today. So that's how he reacts, instead of going in and backing his products up and just these constant rants of best of the best, best of the best. You can't even do the challenges, man. This is basic for us. So today your challenge will be a 2-year challenge. You will be in a max out zone and you will display out of your video demonstrations, out of 100%, 80% of those will be contrast demonstrations. And I guarantee you, we can put up the challenges as we always do, and I guarantee you they won't even be met. Oh, and I keep forgetting, you will be doing a projector swap out. You can use any projector you want, but it has to be 720p projector. Your contrast ratio will have to be somewhere between the range of 1,000 to 2,000 to 1. That's it. That's what we're using in here in this demonstration. But I don't mind you going using 4,000, 5,000. We don't care. We know what the reaction is going to be. It's a 4,000 lumen Christie, and it doesn't even pull up on this stuff. So let's see, instead of all the ranting and complaining and fussing, that they can actually back up the product. Oh, by the way, the day is June the 1st, and we have not seen an order. So that means it's officially 2 months since the 2 individuals had made false accusations about purchasing our products, and they have not made one purchase through the website yet. Let's see where we want to go next. I saw another one over here. It's pretty nice before we sign off. We got a little bit of time here. Let's see. Let's go to a fireworks display. Now keep in mind a meter max out zone, which means you're going to have a ton of light, a lot of light in that environment. The screen size cannot be 100 inch, which means you're going to have to get the building. My screen's 129 inches, so that's what you're going to have in that environment. And you will not be using ultra short throw. You'll be using long throw in the demonstration. At around, we're about 14 feet from the screen. So you're going to have to really light that area up. We don't want any special lamps, none of that stuff in the environment. That area needs to be bright. He can do it. He's going to have to take his blinds and pull them all the way up, and he's going to really light that area up in order to do it, which means the screen is going to suffer dramatically. And with an additional, if he tries to drop 4,000 lumens on it, it's going to drop even faster. So we'll see. They can back it up. Like I said, it's sad because the customer's getting a bunch of smoke and mirrors. Watching demonstration on a calibrated, overpriced projector in the dark. Yeah, that's not a demonstration. That's cutting corners. Let's go over and let's pick up, let me see where we want to go from here. Contrast test demonstrations.
Getting that from YouTube.
Let's see where we want to go. Benefits of having black technology. Do this all day. That's what we do all day. Oh, and by the way, so people can understand, you cannot use the Dark Star 9. You cannot use daylight screens or any of those screens on an ultra short throw projector. They're designed for long throw, not for ultra short throw. The screen has to be certified and say ultra short throw. Usually Cillian light projections are ones used for ultra short throws. But if you see somebody using certified screens such as these and the Cinema Gray or Cinema Gray 5D, they're not designed for ultra short throw. They're designed for long throw applications only. Did I show this one already? I don't think I showed this one already. Here we go. These are gunmetals right here. As I said before, the 39 can overpower certified gunmetal screens with no problem. There you go. Good luck, because you're going to need it. You're definitely going to need it. Come up, do you? Come up.
At Tires Plus, you're in the driver's seat. Save up to $100 when you spend $500 or more at our epic sales event, because we believe great car care and epic deals go hand in hand. Tires Plus, where the plus.
Getting that from YouTube.
That's black house paint on a 39 Black Widow. See how it doesn't pick up white light? Can't register. We just did this over on Instagram. They were blown away by it. Because we get all the time every time we show up a black screen. See how it doesn't match in any way whatsoever? There's no bump, nothing at all, period. You can see it right 14 feet back from the screen. Would you like me to go a little farther back? Let's go way back here. When I tell you that you do a demonstration and you have to show a difference between night and day, this is what we're talking about. That's a $23 gallon of black paint by Sherwin-Williams. It's called Black Magic. That's the name of it. It's the darkest one they got there. That's why we got it. I don't particularly like the name, but that's the darkest one we could find. And you see the difference, how it doesn't even match at all, period. This is what I meant by when you did the demonstration against Network Grade 773, you are not supposed to match that screen in any way whatsoever. Any black surface can pull a contrast level. The hard thing is to get it to generate and accept white light. When you did the demonstration again against the Network Grade 773, your screen was not supposed to match. Look at this. You see a match there in any way whatsoever? You don't. A difference between night and day. That's what I talk about when you do demonstrations. Sitting in front of a camera telling a slight hue, there is no slight, nothing there in it at all. It doesn't match at all, period. This is why we can take black paint and we can draw into the screen and mark the screen up and mess it up, because black paint doesn't match. Which shows that whatever's in that formula allows that screen to be able to see and accept white light. Your product didn't show a difference at all. For case no screensavers.
Getting that from YouTube.
So you see those demonstrations we have on our website where you can go in and you can watch in live demonstrations of our screen paint doing something called the black versus black demonstration. If you notice, the post that he did on the Network Grade 773 never ended up on the website. Isn't one at all there. Because it matched, that's why. "4K demonstrations."
Getting that from YouTube.
This is what we have to do every single time we show up a black screen. It's required. Now remember my theory about black screens. Black screens are supposed to have a hard time generating white light because it's a black screen. And when you have a fully lit environment, it makes it even harder for the screen to generate white light. We're in a max out zone. This is why the fellow from India who had the screen paint, I think it was India or I think Thailand, who had the screen paint called I Paint Screens, was coming up too dark because the screen couldn't generate white light. It's not as easy as people think it is. And you see how easy this is for me to do? I can take light gray screen paint, which we have the Network Gray 773, and I can take black paint at the same time, wash one screen out and make the other screen too dark on a screen that's jet black. This is how you have to back your product up. Right, let's have some fun here. And we could take a certified screen and throw it up there too. I chose the dark stern on because it produces a much better contrast level than the other screen. So these are the kind of demonstrations you have to do. Skyworth through demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
Skyworth through demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
So as you can see, the black paint is producing too much contrast, not enough white levels, where the gray screen paints and the certified screen is producing too high of a white level. Now, for any theories about how the technology we develop here does not pull up in a dark environment, we got a dedicated theater room upstairs for that test too. Dedicated theater room. So as you can see, the black paint doesn't pull any color, can't produce a white level, comes up too dark. And the gray screen over here doesn't have enough contrast, can't produce color, and can't produce contrast. There's a balance in there. And the problem is that when I watch these demonstrations, they're missing the balance by so much it's not even funny. So to make up and try to put the balance back in, again, calibrated, expensive projectors with a lot of bells and whistles in dark environments. And that's what you have to go through, what people have to go through. We don't go through that. So when I tell you, when you do a demonstration against Network Gray 773, you have to show a difference. Just like when I do the black paint, we have to show a difference. There's no way in the world I'm going to get the price that I paid for my product at the end of the day, and that product match house paint? No, can't do that. And we could do all this in a maxed out environment. So the environment that I'm using right now literally has more light than all his demonstrations combined. My customer's demonstrations are much brighter than all his demonstrations. They don't show anything. And we've done this at 1,000 lumens also too. Doesn't work. For most people, if the screen comes up too dark and doesn't work, the first thing they want to do is go in with a more higher, brighter projector. Not going to work either. Let's go over to red screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
So let's show you what happens when you use this. There you get already from the door. Now you see what's going on here on the red screen? Black screen can't pick up color. This is the problem that the fellow was having on iPaint screens. This is the issue he was having. His contrast level was way too high, and he couldn't accept red or different colors. They weren't coming up. The screen was coming too dark. Mind you, the entire demonstration was done in a dark environment. You're supposed to be in this much lighting when you do these demonstrations. So just in case if the customer decides to use this as a storefront or business, or maybe there's a lot of light in his apartment or a house or whatever it may be, your screen can maintain. You have to show a difference. They can't match. Oh man, I tell you, I don't understand it with these great products. I don't get them. They get a screen, they put it outside. It's the most washed out, most ugliest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And because they can get a slight little image to pop up, It's passable to them. They do demonstrations in the dark where you see pockets of dark corners. You can't make out objects in the environment. That's passable to them. They use these overpriced caliber projectors in their demonstrations, knowing that the customer doesn't have the same projector. He can't do the same thing. That's why we have the 1 year swap out. They consider that showing quality. Quality is coming from the P2, not coming from the paint. This is what you should be looking for when you buy a screen paint product. You don't want the paint to match at all. You don't want the certified to even match. Blue screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
No, I can make this a challenge. Right now, this could be a challenge for you. We can make challenges all day long. Every time I show a screen and display it, we can literally make it a challenge, and they can't do it. These are not challenges. This is what we do every day. Anytime I go to a forum site, this is exactly what you'll see Mr. Burden doing in a forum site. Questions that will be asked. What about the gray screen? What if I can do this with black paint? Can I get the same thing if I got the certified screen right there? I got a Dark Star 9, I paid $3,000 for it. It can do the same thing as your product. No, it can't. We can do the same thing with black paint. No, you can't. I got a gray screen on my wall. It picks up amazing color. No, it doesn't. There you go. Let's go to green screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
There you go. So you cannot go to these forum sites, not with the elites. You can't be in there at all, period. Because the same great product you have on their wall, they made their own gray screen paint. They even post the ingredients of what they're making. And it starts off with black, and it starts off with gray, and some of it has silver, some has glitter, and some has some other stuff in it. But the base of it all starts off with black and white. It does. And they post it right up in there. Well, this is how I did my so-and-so and so, and this is the mixture that I made for my screen. What are you going to go in there and present to them? Oh, I have a gray screen. Well, so do I. This is my mix right here. I made it myself. This is for my screen. What's the difference between yours and mine? We walk in there, this is what we display. Got it certified? Yeah, that's what certifieds look like on our screen. I can do it with everyday black paint, and no, you can't. There you go. That's our results against black paint, black fabric. Go to the website, check it out. We got them all on display. Knock yourself out. I got a gray screen. It pulls amazing colors. No, it don't. Washes out. There you go. All right, I'm done here. I've had fun. Now, as I said before, can black paint pull contrast? Yeah, it can. You can see contrast. Definitely can see contrast. The only problem is it can't see white levels and it can't see color. That's the problem you're going to have. That's why when the fellow was doing the eye screens, he needs more time. I've seen it before too many times, the dark environment. And the reason why, like I said, they use the dark environment is because black screens, if it's not done right, will have an extremely difficult time picking up in a fully lit environment. They will pick up better in a darker environment because, like I said, the white levels have less to fight with. So that's usually, when you do screens in these fully lit environments, it blows people away because that's not how black screens are supposed to react. And then we can take everyday black paint, throw it against the screen. We can take gray paint, whatever is certified. Nothing matches the screen. It's not supposed to match. And that's the problem with the people who make these gray screen paint products. Again, very poor demonstrations. Extremely poor. If I give you a challenge on this, we can knock it back at 1,000 lumens. We'll break out Old Faithful. That's a very painful demonstration for people to do. Mind you, you'll be doing this at 1,000 lumens, 14 feet back from the screen in a max out environment, and you'll only have 1,000 lumens, and your screen is going to have to generate enough light in that environment, to be able to out or beat the screen. And you can't even beat the gray house paint, which is pretty bad. It's pretty bad. You can't beat house paint at the end of the day. It's pretty bad. You're buying screen paint for the first time, people. It should never, ever match like that. Never, ever match. So what you just saw in my demonstration, this is something you can take to YouTube or whatever you're going at, and you can do your comparison off of. Look at the environment. This is what you want to look for. Nice, bright environment. You don't want anything in the dark. You want to be able to make out all objects in the environment. If a person has to walk over to a screen to show you a contrast level, that is a fail. If a person has to walk over to an object to show you that you can see it, no, that is a fail. You should be able to see everything crystal clear. There should be plenty of light in the environment. I'm going to order my battery for my meter today so we can get it down here. We can have that thing sitting in the middle of the floor. The challenge will start today, and the challenge will be for 2 years. You cannot use an ultra short throw projector, P2 projector, no 2:1 contrast, none of that. That's gone. We will do all demonstrations in fully lit environments, no lights out demonstrations at all, period. All demonstrations will involve contrast levels, which means either 2 or 3 of your videos have to have contrast in the demonstrations, and you will also do that demonstration next to Network Gray 773. We have no problem doing that demonstration next to black paint, Network Gray 773, or any of the certified screens we have as we showed you. It's very easy for us to do because our products are tested. And this is what customers, when you watch a demonstration of anybody doing any contrast demonstration in a dark environment, requests they turn the lights on, request that they show that demonstration again in a fully lit environment. Now, if they ignore the challenge, it just shows you. All they do is talk. And yes, this challenge is going to be met by the same as usual. The phone calls, what do we get usually? The emails, that's usually how they react. That's all they can do. Did anyone see the black and white challenge today? Did he do it? The demonstration with the black and white paint? Guarantee he didn't do it. Well, we'll put the other one up for today. And then we'll get back to work. You'll get a challenge a day. I think we'll give you a challenge a day. So your challenges, like I said, they're not really challenges. They're basically stuff we do every day. So stuff that we do every day, that's what you'll have to do. If you want to go against the gunmetal we have over here, then you can go do your Frankenstein, paint it up, and you will do every test demonstration exactly as we do in here with the same amount of lighting, which means you're going to have a maxed out meter. Let me go order my meter, my battery pack for my meter, so we can get this done. Should we get a battery shipped in? I should get it in the morning, so I get it overnight. So this is my meter right here. We get our batteries right here. Meters must stay in the center of the floor. All right, we're done. I want to come back in. I want to do another demonstration. Not now, I got something to do, but I want to do a demonstration with Old Faithful. Where's Old Faithful at? Here's Old Faithful. There's no Old Faithful. Old Faithful is our 1,000 lumen projector. We use 720p. This is the old boy right here. We use this one. We're going to do a demonstration with the black paint and the gray at the same time on Old Faithful. 14 feet back, only 1,000 lumens in a max out zone for fun. All right, we got 2 years projector swap out. Last time we did it, it was upstairs. My projector's still running in 720p. The original challenge, still having fun with the projector there, no problem. They didn't do that one. Now you got another one. You ran your mouth too much yesterday. You got another test for today. You're another challenge. 2 years. You got 2 years. Let's see if you can basically swap your projector out, or if you're lying to your customers and you need to have that projector. Where is the quality coming from at the end of the day? Is the quality coming from the screen, or is it coming from the projector? Which means if it's coming from your screen, you should be easy to do all of those demonstrations with no problem, max out environment, the whole 9 yards. So let's see if you can last 2 years. All right, that being said, gotta go, and God bless.